You're doing some exciting stuff at Lighthouse, some fintech, consumer credit focused strategies. So yeah, please break it down for us.
The space is really exciting. And I think one of my fellow colleagues has said, not all private credits are set up the same way. We're really narrow focused. What we're looking at is really just the consumer lending space, really where the fintechs have really evolved. And I would say we're probably in the second inning of how that's going to materialize in the future. Outside of the US, most people, when they borrow money, they're not going to traditional banks. They're using their phone and they're going to somebody electronically to get that cash that they need. And so we just see that as a bit of a tailwind, and it's growing exponentially just here in the States. You think about 2021, this space was probably around 200 billion. Today, to 2025, it's probably close to 300 billion in consumer loans. And we're estimating about 2030, about 400 billion. So there's that tailwind that's going after specifically the consumer side of this private credit world. And the yields are a little bit higher. And there's a reason behind that. It's a pretty decentralized structure today. You have on the far end, you have some players that are doing multi-billion-dollar loans like the SoFis that everybody knows. And then you have about 250 of these smaller players that are doing anywhere between $50 to $500 million of consumer loans on an annual basis. And I think that's really where we're focusing on. We think that this is going to be the sweet spot. This is where the IRRs are going to be a lot higher. We think that we built a bit of an interesting mousetrap. We partnered up with a bank that is an originating bank. And so as the loans need to be originated through an actual bank, because at the end of the day, the fintech lending platforms, they're great. They're great at finding consumers. They're good at building GUIs, so attracting talent, the consumers. But what are they terrible at? They're terrible at banking regulations, and they're terrible at finding somebody to offload those loans to. Ultimately, they're asset-based. They don't have assets to hold that back. So they have to push those loans out to somebody. Now, that's where I think we built a nice little different mousetrap where our originating bank today knows those loans. They have to underwrite it from a banking regulatory standpoint. And then we're also helping them on the offloading, creating a vehicle that will be able to kind of take some of the loans that we like and put it into a fund structure that then we can make it available to some of our clients.